You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
This time I won't take it.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here,
slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Okay, so what I said last time, I entered the so-called neutral basement, the chapter 1 basement. Once I picked up the blade, the music immediately changed. And now the music stays calm, because the princess is also calm, just like us.
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Continue down the stairs.
Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that. Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end. You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart. But she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time? I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I'm gonna take the blade this time.
Take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Yeah, screw the world at this point. She killed me both times prior Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me thrice shall not happen, because now I have the blade.
Grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
And I probably won't stab you. I'm not
But
nasty.
you are. You're a wretched little thing. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine. You're the boss.
He's not.
Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
Because she doesn't read our thoughts per se, but we sort of make her in our mind, don't we?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Slay the princess, there we have. I'm not sure. This other one is also Slay the Princess. I'd like to be straightforward with my intentions. I didn't care for how you treated me last time, and I think you might be a danger to the world. No. I remember she already let herself out of the chains. She used her furry nails, claws to sort of picklock the chain key thing. So I'm not giving her any warning. I'm gonna go and slay her right now. I remember what you did the other 2 times. I'm gonna slay you this time.
Without uttering a word, you charge the princess.
She still smiles. I don't like that.
So much for finding an easy way out. I can't believe you're making us work for it.
Better a violent fool than a plotting coward. Better for me, at least.
Come at me.
As you close the distance, readying your strike, the princess's chain falls from her wrist.
Yep, there we go. There we go.
She takes advantage of your split second of surprise and throws a fistful of dirt into your eyes.
Oh, but we knew about that.
She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little woman after my own heart, really. It's a shame we're playing opposite teams. This is why you couldn't just abandon her here. Left to her own devices, she would always find a way out. Now stop her.
You must have known I would be ready for you. Deep in your heart, you know the same things about me I know about you. We're both so very awful.
As you brush the silt from your eyes, the princess tackles you, flattening you against the dirt floor.
Well, so much for that.
We were always going to kill each other here, weren't we? I can't trust you, and you can't trust me, and those dots spin and spin and spin into hate.
She buries her teeth deep into your chest, tearing it. Great, she's distracted. Stab her in the back. In for a penny, right? Why not? As the princess rips meat from bone, you plunge your weapon into her unprotected back.
Ha, you bastard! Even face to face, you find a way to stab me in the back. I know you, and you're hideous, absolutely wretched, just like me.
Maybe we are the same. So what? Throw her off us. Kick her in the shins. We don't have to fight so dirty. Of course we do. Fighting clean won't help us win. It takes a wretch to know a wretch, and we're all at the bottom of the barrel here. There's no point in pretending otherwise.
We're both animals, we're gonna fight like animals.
Are we? At the bottom of the barrel. We've got dirt in our eyes and a chunk of us chewed out. If that's not the bottom of the barrel, what is? No arguments here. You're doing great. Keep playing dirty if that's what it takes. But if we win, we won't be at the bottom anymore. We'll have climbed a little higher. And once we start climbing, well, who knows where we'll stop? You'll stop right here if you keep daydreaming. Don't let yourself get distracted thinking about what comes after. None of us ever said we stopped fighting. What a low and vicious fight it is. Eyes gouged, skin scratched bloody, hair ripped and nails broken. Every rule there ever was in the book of honourable combat, both you and the princess have broken a dozen times over. That's nice and all, but are we winning? Nobody's winning. I thought playing dirty was supposed to give you the upper hand, but I suppose that doesn't work if you both sink to the same lows. Still, at least you're not losing.
That's at least something.
The princess cackles maniacally as the fracas continues. But behind her cackle, you hear the low groan of warping wood.
Warping wood is the shifting mount coming into assist.
Wait, what's going on? We're establishing a newer, better packing order. No, the groaning thing. Why is the wood making noise? Who cares about the groan? It's just a sound. Things make sounds all the time. I care about the groan. Doesn't that mean something bad is happening? Oh, yes, well, I'm afraid that's the sound of the basement getting smaller.
Smaller?
You hear that, you pathetic wretch? Those are the roots of the wild, and they're coming to choke the breath from your lungs and squeeze the life out of you.
Oh, no.
Excuse me, what? You and the princess disengage for a brief moment, just long enough to get your bearings. Behind you, the basement door has been sealed over, thick roots barring your only exit from the dirt pit. And slowly, but very perceptibly, the roots are closing in on you both.
So we're both gonna die here.
That's right. They're coming for you. And they won't stop until there's nothing left down here but them.
Them. What about you? They'll crush you just as easily as they'll crush me, although you're a witch, so who knows.
As long as you suffer while you die, I'll gladly suffer with you. Especially if I get to see it happen.
This doesn't help anyone. I can't believe she'd kill us both just to spite me.
She's also smaller than me, I think, so she'll probably get to see me being squished, yeah.
See? This is exactly why you've been tasked to slay her. She's an antisocial monster who'll gladly burn the whole world for her satisfaction.
Yeah, narrator, your mess got me into this. I'm doing exactly as you wanted. Don't give me that tone.
The roots grow ever closer. We know, we can see them.
You can make them stop, right? They're pressing in on you as well. This sucks. We're not animals, we're people. We can work things out. We can make things better. Go out fighting. Well, she controls this. What if I fight her until she passes out so she can't do this anymore or loses her will? That's... Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Go out fighting.
You attack the princess once more, and once more the two of you fall into a vicious brawl. The basement continues to shrink as you fight, but neither of you pay it any more mind. Not until it's too late. The roots twist around you both, binding your limbs and rendering you helpless. As your fates close in, all you can do is watch her, and all she can do is watch you. At first it's almost gentle. The two of you lift it delicately off the ground, but the cradle of the growing roots soon gives way to tightness, and that tightness gives way to bulging pressure as they begin to constrict. The sound of creaking wood is drowned out by the snaps and pops of your bones, pain flooding your senses as you feel your skin deform, being shaped unnaturally by the living basement. Tears well up in the princess's eyes, her own bones splintering and flesh swelling with trapped blood. But still she smiles through it all.
I can't wait to do this again, you wretched little thing. I hate you, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
The pressure is unbearable. You can't breathe, your vision swimming with red, your head pounding as everything tightens. And then you pop. Everything goes dark, and you die.
We pop. The wild. We have a new one again. Oh, cursor change.
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge.
Cold and unnatural. Like the shifting mount. Because whenever the shifting mount comes, cold and closes on you.
His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
His gaze, like the narrator, or what the narrator is based on.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that?
The narrator is still with us.
That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped.
So the narrator himself, not what the narrator is based on, but the narrator himself.
He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you talk. What happened? What did you do? Sure, there's no reason to keep secrets. Someone decided to go in guns blazing last time, and that someone got us killed.
I'm not sorry. She gave me a very painful ending both times. First time she locked me in the basement for all eternity, but thankfully the shifting mount saved me. And the second time, she outright killed me even though I wanted to be on her side again. So I went for it.
And what should we have done? Let you draw things out with all that conniving? Everyone knows a straight fight is best. It's honest. There's no need to bicker about it. I wasn't trying to start anything. I don't mind what happens to us. I kind of like it now that we aren't actively being crushed. Yeah, now that you mention it, this isn't so bad. And it's not like the fight is what killed us anyway, it was the cabin. No point worrying about who charged who when that place ground us all into paste in the end. The princess included.
It was a fitting end. I'm sorry if it hurt, but doesn't this make it all seem so small?
So this music in the background sounds like a messed up version of The Shifting Mount. And it says the princess. I mean, this sounds very much like the princess, full of all these hands and arms. But she's not supposed to be here at this point. And the narrator is not here when she is. So things are very different right now.
I see. So the cabin ground you into paste, and now you're convinced you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
I didn't get this until now. It's like we were crushed together, but we were also crushed into one another, sort of. We're supposed to be one piece. And the narrator won't have any of that. Because she stands for death. I don't know what we stand for, but she stands for death. And that's why we have to get rid of her, because the narrator... I don't know. From what I understand, the narrator is a fragment of someone who used to live a normal life, and somehow he managed to reach some sort of demigod status or so. And after he passed, or more like before he passed, he managed to create a version of himself that lingered after death, that could linger outside the universe or so, and then there's a narrator based on that? I don't know. This thing watching us, what is he? Because the narrator probably won't answer me.
I'm not watching you, I'm trying to help you.
So it is you.
That's not an answer to our question.
I don't know what he is. I only know that he is something other, and that he wishes for you and I to tear ourselves apart.
And for you to disappear.
I do want that, but only because it's in your best interests. It's in everyone's best interests. You won't be able to slay her unless you remove yourself from her.
He wants us to kill each other.
I don't. I want you to kill her. Don't be charmed by her faux solidarity. You're not in this together. She's the only one who poses a threat to the world, and she's trying to make you go along with it. You don't have to enable her, especially when you have what it takes to stop her.
And you don't. Well, from what I understand, you created both me and her, so in a way, we are in it together. I've had enough of this guy. How do we stop him? Let's see. Actually, I want to take this first one. I want to hear what she says about this. How do we stop him?
We push back. It may feel like he's everywhere, but presence isn't strength. Otherwise, he would have torn us apart by now. There must be a crack in the walls of this prison. There must be a way for us to be free from him.
She's trying to use you. After everything she's done, you should be able to see that. I may not have been around to witness it, but clearly you remember what happened. How about you try remembering how it all felt?
Turn inward and find your freedom. I know I'm supposed to, like, kill her at this point, but that's something I do at the very end. I want to turn inward and find my freedom. I want to see what that looks like. A glimpse of something
fall
big.
inward into a network of connections too vast for your mind to occupy. Are you a path in the woods? Are you a body? Can you even grasp the fuzziest edges of the shapes that confine you?
We can change to fill them together.
We don't need to be everywhere at once, just in the right place at the right time. You'd do best to remember that some wounds will never heal. Some rifts can never be mended. Even in rebirth, some things never come back the same.
That sounds very threatening and full of malice.
What is he going on about? What does he know about us? He can't make us quit, no matter how much he tries. He knows that talking's all he can do. Of course he's gonna try and confuse us. You aren't whole. You'll never be whole again. This struggle is meaningless. Whatever you think you're doing, you will fall apart.
He's not very fond of us right now. He is so upset.
We don't need to be made whole. All we need to do is find a single corner of his cage and break it.
There's a place you need to be. You just need to find it.
You stretch and search and stretch and search, growing as you decay and decaying as you grow. As you strain beyond your limits, the ground around you becomes dry and unstable and crumbles into nothing beneath you.
Well, you are still with me, narrator. You're hanging on for your dear life, because I don't remember you coming with me into the here-like environment out in the universe.
This place will fall apart before you find its end. This task, whatever it is you think you're doing, is impossible. All the more reason to keep trying. Come on, we aren't tired yet. That's right, I know a loser when I see one. Call his bluff.
I can hold us together for a little while longer, so long as you trust me.
For the time being, princess. For the time being. I trust you. Find a way out.
You won't find anything. If I have to starve you, if I have to sacrifice my world to keep the princess at bay, I'll do it.
So she calls it a cage. It's this hill, this cabin, perhaps even this entire world is a cage to keep the princess in. So let's see if we can break this cage. I do find something. It's cold and smooth and gently buckles, then cracks under the pressure of your consciousness flattening against it.
Don't move an inch. Don't grow another blade of grass or harvest the remains of another dying creature so you can expand just that much further. Stop all of this. Right now.
This is the most upset I've seen the narrator, and I can tell that his voice quivers of fear and perhaps sadness and no longer anger. And it hurts me a bit because I actually do like the narrator a bit after I finished the game the first time. He made me a little bit emotional. It did. I can't explain it, it just did. I feel for him a bit. So I also feel for him when he gets this anxious at this point. I'm breaking his world that he probably orchestrated in a way. It's a cage.
I think it's too late for that, mate.
I'm at your side. Shatter it and free us all.
Shatter the cage.
No, stop!
What is that? His pleas disappear at the sound of breaking glass. For a moment, you and she gaze through the tiniest hole in the world at the place you need to be. I'm so sorry, narrator. That sounded so Like, you were the one who popped this time. But on a more serious note, I am sorry for that. He perishes every time I free the princess, but he never sounded like that. It's more like I leave him behind, and later on he perishes, if even. But now he just poofed. He just popped. So rest in peace, this world's narrator. I am sorry. I actually feel sorry for him. For a moment, you and Shige's, yeah.
Job well done, team. Just like I'd planned. Oh, can it? This was all of us, fighting as one.
Is this what he kept from us? Is this why he made us kill each other?
It's beautiful.
I hear the shifting mound coming in. Oh, and then it's gone.
Where did it go? Why is everything so cold?
How would the shifting mound's arms know where to grab, because the princess seems invisible? Oh, unless it's me, I'm part of her, am I not? But you never get the chance to answer her. Yeah, you didn't even see the hands and the arms. She's just gone now. You never get to answer her. You turn to see her gone behind you. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
I sent memory from our existences all out in the universe. But as we enter a world, we forget everything.
And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
It's going to be okay, just trust me.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess. If they think it's bad, I'm with them.
I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay. I don't have the heart to pick anything else.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. Maybe there'll be a good fight there. Maybe we'll find her again.
I don't like lying to them, but hey.
Finally. We're going places.
Approach the mirror, and they're gone. You approach the mirror, gaze. Silence as you reach forward, they're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've grown. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Let's have a look at this princess. Oh. Is that just a tree? You are at the cabin. Approach.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Oh yeah, you take my memory. I'm gonna pick this because I don't think I picked this before. You know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right?
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
Well, now I warned her. Wait, have I had this before? When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
I'm ready to go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark, and once again, we die. Bring the networked wild tour.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin
is a princess. Now I will take a break right here. Thank you very much for watching my third playthrough so far. If you haven't watched my very first impressions, then you should check out part 1 and onwards. I will play more soon, but for now, have a pleasant night.